wanted to talk about the New York City mayor. Did you hear about this? When he got into office, from day one, he wanted to ban the horses, horse drivers. What do you think of that? He's finally doing it. I think there's no horses this Christmas.
He wanted to ban divorces? Oh, horse carriages?
Horse carriages. Yeah, sorry.
I mean,
horse carriages.
I'm a pretty sentimental guy, and so it's sad that they're not around. But those horses were not terribly well treated, as far as I can tell. I don't know horses, but it sure seems like that's a pretty hard life, having to sort of like clomp on cement all day.
And they're still around.
Well,
you just have to. He wants to. He's going to introduce the bill. And he's aiming by mid-2016 that the horses would be gone from the city. But as of today, they're still there.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought it was going to take effect much sooner. But the thing is, I would be okay if they visited the stables, if they actually inquired in this and they discovered that the horses were not treated very well or there were adverse effects. Fine. But that's not what's going on. I mean, I see this mayor in New York City as an example of government just unilaterally doing things. Like, for example, when he gets into office from day one, he says, okay, I will crack down on driving speeds. I will put up many more cameras. I will make life harder for drivers in New York City, and I will make remove the horses. I don't care what the public thinks about this. I'm not going to take a referendum. That's what bothers me.
Well, should there be a referendum for everything? I understand you don't like it, but you know what? As a father of a 9-year-old child who crosses the street in Brooklyn and is close to doing it by herself, I actually like the fact that the speed limit is going down. And you know what? There is a referendum. You don't like it, you vote them out.
Well, you can vote them out, but it's when George Bush.
What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Take a vote on every one of these small things about the horses and.
No, I'm talking about in general. This is what I mean about sometimes government just. The guy goes in there from day one. He says, "This is what I'm going to do. I don't care if it's unpopular. I don't care if the New York City people want it. I'm just going to do it."
Right. There's no politician who does only stuff that people want. And when you're talking about, frankly, this is pretty small bore stuff. Okay? I mean, particularly the horses. I mean, it is.
It's an iconic thing in New York City. Suddenly it's terrible.
Yeah, well, it's, yes, I feel bad for the tourists. But yes, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
It's not like those horses will be saved. I mean, most of those horses would become glue if they're not.
I haven't looked into it that much, but in principle, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, do you have a problem with the banning of, let's say, of dog fighting? Do you think there should be dog fighting too?
I have a problem with.
Can we have dog fighting in the park? How about now we get rid of the horses? We'll reinstitute. You can have dog fights in the park.
Well, there's a difference. Dog fights actually can be shown to harm dogs, and the alternative is dogs can live as pets. What can the horses do as an alternative?
Well, they could actually just live as pets too at some horse farm. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but I imagine he's not just willy-nilly waking up one morning going, I really want to make the tourists feel like you can't take a.
You ever notice on?
I hated that movie with Dudley Moore 10 so much because he was just like runs around the park, and this and that, and so I want to get rid of those horses. I don't think that's what it's about. I think certainly dogs can be put to sleep, and who knows? I'm just saying, it's arbitrary just because you don't like it, but I don't know that it's actually arbitrary. But I appreciate you weighing in on this, Greg. I would start a petition if I was you. All right, I'll talk to you later.
If you notice on those horse harnesses, on the side of their eyes, they have like little flaps that come out.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so they can't see the cars around them, because if they do, they would get stressed out.
Right. I mean, it's not uncommon that horses would have blinders on some level, but yes, it is. I think it's probably a stressful situation for these horses. I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but I am not convinced the horses are going to be, are going to band together and lament that they're not pulling these carriages around Central Park. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm certainly open to being wrong about that.
If any horses would like to call into the show, please.
Yes.
I'm a thoroughbred mayor. I've been riding around Central Park for several years, and I've got a libertarian perspective on the.
Careful.
I had to time that for the Monster Energy goal.
Matt's gonna spray Monster Energy juice all over our board. Now I know what happened to the other three.
I know how
boards that
you
we
feel
fried.
about that. Hold on one second. I got a carrot for myself.